Yeah, I think this is a little bit of my qualm with sales in that I feel like we're over segmented, right? So before it was the traditional sales rep, and sometimes they were even in charge of customer success, right? They couldn't just say whatever they needed to say to get the customer over the line. They actually had to service that customer. I do think, for the record, that's a good way to split it, right? Sales, they're in charge of net new. I think there are some companies I've heard, modern companies, that are starting to tie a little bit more of that sales compensation to retention. But let's the over segmentation, right? So sales, you're responsible for net new. Then I don't know where this came about, probably the era of predictable revenue, Aaron Ross, where they said, okay, sellers have a different skill set than maybe outbound hunters, right? They have to demo, they have to nurture the relationship, they have to follow up. What if we segment that out and keep sellers, aka account executives, focused on the demo and ushering that prospect through the buyer's journey? And then we have a separate function that is just used to prospect, typically outbound. Um, as if that wasn't enough, now we said, hey, we're getting some inbound leads, and maybe some of our AEs aren't getting in touch with them quick enough. Let's create inbound SDRs. So now we have outbound SDRs that focus on just hunting. Then we have inbound SDRs that are responsible for getting in touch with people that maybe have shown some interest, maybe have engaged with some content. So that's really the function that what started as one single sales rep that was responsible for bringing people in, sometimes servicing them. Then we over segmented that and said, hey, we need customer success. Makes sense. Then it was like, hey, this person can't usher prospects through the buyer's journey and still prospect for themselves. So let's create a role for that. And then they can't get in touch with the inbound leads quick enough. So let's create a role for that. So a lot of over segmentation in sales that I think has been orchestrated as part of a company sales process. But nowadays, I think more and more what we're seeing and what we're going to be talking about here today is that it doesn't line up to how a buyer wants to buy in today's modern world.